The Hunchback of Notre Dame came out in 1996, almost at the end of the Disney Renaissance era. These Disney movies were known for their callback to what made Disney films popular during the Golden Era, from the 30s and 60s. Drama and Broadway-style musical films in which the protagonist sings mostly about what they want or lack in life. The Hunchback of Notre Dame stands as a true testament to a layered Disney movie. There are no princesses or singing animals, besides the gargoyles, if you can count those in, and the movie touches upon many philosophical themes that are often not at the epicenter of a Disney movie, such as morality, religion, discrimination, justice, and the nature of good and evil. And that's exactly what we will do in today's video. In this video, we will look at the philosophy behind the Hunchback of Notre Dame. The first theme that we will analyze is that of the contrast between beauty and ugliness. It serves as a central theme throughout the entire movie. It's exemplified in the character of Quasimodo, whose physical deformity belies his inner kindness and humanity, while characters like Judge Claude Frollo, who possess outward beauty or status to the outside world, are consumed by inner ugliness. This dichotomy prompts viewers to question who truly embodies the qualities of a human being. Or as the movie daringly asks us as a viewer, who is the monster and who is the man? Quasimodo, the titular hunchback, is initially perceived as a monstrous figure due to his physical deformity. However, his actions throughout the film reveal a compassionate and noble character, demonstrating that true beauty lies within. Conversely, Judge Claude Frollo, despite his outward appearance of authority and refinement, embodies moral ugliness through his ruthless pursuit of power and his dehumanization of others. Edmund Burke's aesthetic theory, as outlined in A Philosophical Inquiry into the Origin of Our Ideas of the Sublime and Beautiful, provides insights into the emotional responses elicited by representations of beauty and ugliness. Burke suggests that beauty evokes feelings of pleasure and admiration, while ugliness elicits feelings of discomfort and aversion. However, he also acknowledges that these responses are subjective and influenced by individual perspectives. For example, Quasimodo's physical deformity may elicit feelings of discomfort or aversion in some characters within the movie's story. This reflects Burke's understanding of ugliness as disrupting our sense of harmony and order. However, as the story unfolds, Quasimodo's inner strength and resilience challenge these superficial judgments, prompting a re-evaluation of what truly constitutes beauty and ugliness. As the narrative unfolds, the juxtaposition between Quasimodo's inner beauty and Frollo's moral ugliness becomes increasingly pronounced. Quasimodo's selfless acts of kindness, such as rescuing Esmeralda from persecution and defending the innocent, stand in stark contrast to Frollo's ruthless pursuit of power and his willingness to sacrifice others for his own gain. This dichotomy between appearance and reality, between outward beauty and inner morality, challenges us as a viewer to reconsider the preconceived notions and prejudices that we might have. Quasimodo's character serves as a powerful reminder that true beauty transcends physical appearance, while Frollo's descent into moral depravity exposes the ugliness that lurks beneath the surface. In the words of Victor Hugo himself, upon whose novel the film is based, what makes a monster and what makes a man? It's a question that's almost as old as humanity itself, namely that of the nature of good and evil, a question that has stood at the epicenter of almost every religion or mythological story. And talking about that question, of course we have to talk about the villain of the movie. And when it comes to Disney villains, there are few who can match the malevolence of Judge Claude Frollo. His villainy isn't just bad, it's bad with a capital B. And we wouldn't do a philosophical analysis of the Hunchback of Notre Dame justice without delving into his character. Frollo is driven by a strict moral code, or at least, that's what he likes the outside world to believe. His actions are often morally ambiguous, if not outright reprehensible. By examining Frollo's behavior and its consequences, we can delve into deeper philosophical questions about the nature of morality and the complexities of human judgment. Frollo epitomizes the tension between self-perception and reality when it comes to moral righteousness. He sees himself as a righteous enforcer of God's will, yet his actions are driven by personal desire. Frollo tries to kill Quasimodo as an infant at the beginning of the movie. He is only stopped by the archdeacon that reminds him of God's eyes judging him for the evil he is about to commit, as exemplified by the statues of Notre Dame casting over him, a metaphor for God's all-seeing eye judging over Frollo's immoral actions. In this moment, Frollo experiences fear for the very first time, confronted by the realization of his own moral frailty in the face of divine justice. And Frollo's malevolence is not only shown against Quasimodo, or the people of Paris for that matter. In one of the most chilling and memorable scenes of the movie, Frollo's inner turmoil and moral hypocrisy are laid bare in the now infamous Hellfire song. Set against the backdrop of a fiery inferno, Frollo's inner demons are unleashed as he grapples with his forbidden lust for Esmeralda. The song serves as a haunting story, revealing Frollo's innermost thoughts and desires. He sings of his torment, consumed by his lust for Esmeralda, yet tortured by his own sense of moral righteousness. Frollo's internal conflict is palpable as he wrestles with his desires and the perceived threat to his moral purity. Ironically, Frollo's fervent proclamations of righteousness and purity only serve to highlight his tragic flaw: pride. In the Catholic tradition, pride is considered the first and most dangerous of the 7 deadly sins, serving as the root from which all other sins stem, and ultimately one of the reasons for Frollo's tragic demise. We can also look at Frollo's character through the lens of Augustine. Augustine is known for his exploration of human nature, morality, and the struggle between desires and spiritual aspirations. One of Augustine's key concepts, which he explains in his Confessions, is the notion of concupiscence, which refers to the human inclination towards sin and the struggle against sinful desires. In Augustine's philosophy, human beings are inherently flawed due to the fall of Adam and Eve, and they are prone to sin as a result of their fallen nature. Or in other words, we all carry this sin inside us. The struggle against sinful desires is seen as a central aspect of the human condition, with individuals striving to overcome their base instincts and align themselves with divine will. It's exactly this struggle with lust and divine will that characterizes Frollo. Frollo's lust for Esmeralda is portrayed as a destructive force that threatens to consume him both morally and spiritually. And as the credits to the movie roll, we are left with a profound sense of introspection, compelled to reassess our own perceptions of beauty, morality, and the nature of good and evil. The Hunchback of Notre Dame makes us look beyond surface-level judgments, while teaching us to also embrace the inherent dignity and worth of every individual, and most of all, to cherish the transformative power of empathy in a world too often shrouded in darkness. Thank you for watching. Take care.